think it's wise to put me in here with all these lesser warriors? You might not have any prisoners left when you return.
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're looking at the challenging bosses that were sprung on us with little to no warning.
Okay, this is not good.
Alert. Magical weapons from the old world detected.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Dancer of the Boreal Valley, Dark Souls 3. Souls games have truly made an art of shockingly difficult bosses making dramatic entrances, forcing you into a battle you're likely unprepared for, leading to the first of many brutal demises. One of the most chilling examples is undoubtedly the Dancer. Moments after bringing down the likes of Aldrich, a terrifying boss in his own right, the infinitely flexible swordswoman will descend, leading to one of the game's hardest encounters. What's worse is that if you kill a specific NPC, the Dancer can be summoned far, far earlier than the game intended. Pick your poison and prepare for the pain. Savrock, Baldur's Gate 3.
Only this time, you will fall, and Baal will have his offering. By my hand.
While this seminal RPG is very newcomer friendly with its introduction to the lore surrounding Faerun, there are a few gems for longtime fans, and none surpass the reveal of a certain Baal spawn. As the primary villain from the previous game, Savrock is about as chaotic evil as it gets. Granted, you don't have to fight him, so long as you're willing to join his murder tribunal by becoming an unholy assassin. But if you've even got a shred of morality, then you're going to have to tango with this servant of the murder god, and he is beastly. Make sure you don't get caught on the receiving end of his Deathbringer assault, otherwise you're basically fodder. Cynthia, Pokemon Black and White. There are few champions out there who match the fame and skill of Cynthia. Battling her back in the 4th gen game separated the trainers from the masters. So imagine our surprise when she casually showed up one generation later. Just when you thought you were riding the high after becoming champion yourself, if you enter Caitlyn's villa, you'll find Cynthia waiting for you. And yes, she does challenge you to a battle. And yes, she is just as demanding as she was back in Sinnoh. And yes, she still has her Garchomp. Good luck. Territorial Rotbart, Xenoblade Chronicles. Like any great action RPG with an expansive open world, you're encouraged to wander afar and soak in the beauty and danger to be found along the many limbs of the Bionis. It just so happens if you venture a tad too far, you're likely to encounter something Shulk and company are in no way prepared for. And thus, we have the Territorial Rotbart. You'll find this furry fiend casually wandering the verdant plains of the Mecha God's Leg. And unless your party is able to handle a level 81 monstrosity who can take and dish out excessive amounts of damage, you might want to get back on the grind. Emil Clones, Near Automata.
Oh, are you kidding me?
There was always more to this cybernetic merchant with the creepily iconic helmet than meets the eye, depending on how deep down the near iceberg you go. Even if you were an expert on the tragedies and intricacies of Emil's backstory, nobody was expecting him to act as a secret boss, especially one that tested us to our limits. Appearing as a series of giant death spheres, just one of these would be difficult to deal with, given that they can bring down a bullet hell at any given moment. Throw in a time limit and the fact you have to slay so many at once, and you have to wonder if pursuing that secret ending is worth it. Charon, Hades.
You know, Charon, your associate Hermes apparently had a wager with you that I could beat you twice in a row at some point. I'd hate to disappoint him, so no hard feelings?
I mean, it was obvious that Charon wasn't going to be happy about us stealing his hard-earned coin. We just didn't think it would turn into a boss battle. Should you make the fatal error of snagging the loot of the Underworld's resident ferryman, it'll trigger one of the game's hardest bosses, where Charon reveals that ore of his isn't just for boating down the river Styx, it's also for beating your ass. The bombardment he'll unleash combined with an ever-shrinking arena will test you to such an extent you'll actually miss fighting Hades.
No way, a membership card for me?
Blazing Bull, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. We can't help but feel conflicted here. On the one hand, holy crap, there's a giant bull covered in flames coming towards us, time to get to slicing! On the other hand, we can't help but have immense pity for the poor creature, given how it's going wild on account of being purposefully burned, and killing it seems to be the only mercy that can be afforded to it. Regardless of how you feel, the bull is still going to smash you to pieces unless you've nailed the parry mechanic. Its speed and massive build are not to be underestimated. Deathstroke, Batman, Arkham Knight.
Do you know what every guy who's fought with me and walked away has in common, Batman? I got them next time.
Despite not being a mainstay in the Dark Knight's Rogues Gallery, Deathstroke made quite the impact in the ill-fated Arkham Origins game as the standout boss battle. So the chance to have a rematch within the stellar mechanics of Arkham Knight sounded like a dream. And, well, the fight was certainly surprising and challenging because it was horrendous. It's not that you have to land consistent stealth attacks. It's that you have to land consistent stealth attacks in the Bat Tank. It's all too easy to be spotted and overwhelmed by the brigade of other artillery lurking around every corner, turning the whole thing into a chore unworthy of the Caped Crusader. Ubermorph, Dead Space 2. The regenerating necromorph known as the Hunter made for some of the scariest moments in the original Dead Space. So much so, they decided to bring it back in the sequel. Kinda. Just when you thought you might have a moment to catch your breath following the harrowing needle in your eye segment, out comes the Ubermorph. Unkillable and unstoppable, all you can do is shoot at its limbs and try to freeze it in place while making a run straight for the marker. Made all the worse as you're also set upon by necromorphs from just about every corner. Its appearance is brief, but the whole experience is so frenzied and its form so freakish that it's all too easy to trip yourself up and get Isaac killed. Again. Commander Gaius, Elden Ring. We started with the Souls, and we're ending with the Souls. And while Elden Ring's base game had plenty of surprises, none were more unpleasant and demanding than this pig bastard from the DLC. Lurking behind the Shadowkeep, Commander Gaius and his hog steed don't seem all that intimidating at first, until he starts dishing out the gravity magic. The wackiness of the hitboxes and minimal time you have to recover between the boar's charges is enough to rip your hair out! Gaius appeared like a pig out of hell, and still makes us seethe to this day. Which of these bosses trip you up with their sudden arrivals? Let us know in the comments.